Hello and welcome to Locket in the Czech Republic. Round 5 of the EMX300 Championship. The riders are down on the waiting zone, getting ready for their second race of the weekend. So we'll be with you with all the action in just a moment.
Pojď následovat o 10:30. Bude druhá jízda žen a už nám tam kluci dávají motorku teďka Petr Bartoš jako druhý. Petře, ahoj.
So the scene then for our 300, our first race today, the second race for these guys. This is where we are, close to the German border. Temperature a lot cooler than it was yesterday, but not as windy. So the water that's gone down on the track should stay there for quite a while longer as well. And we've reverted back to the original position for the start here, about 75, 80 meters into turn 1, which is that uphill, off-cambered left-hander. And then a run back in the opposite direction. And the 300 riders making their way down to the line. This is how they qualified in time training yesterday, but Lewis Gregory opting not to ride. So the GL12 Yamaha rider, deciding that the back injury and the other little injuries that he's picked up over the last few weeks were just not good enough, despite setting that fast time early on. But it was his teammate this weekend, Brad Anderson, who was second, just 6/10 behind him in his first ride on the 300. Peter Bartos, the Czech rider, was third, but he had a crash in the first race yesterday. And I'm not sure if the rider 116, in fact, he is out on track, because I saw him in the warm-up this morning. So Bartos out on track, but Matt Moffat 4th, Dieter Damien's 5th. But we're looking at the new championship leader there, number 153, just a moment ago. There's your winner from race 1, Brad Anderson. And in terms of the first race yesterday, it was Marco Maddi who led the first 3 races, first 3 laps, from Matt Moffat, number 36, and the 116 of Peter Bartos, the Czech rider. He got up to second by lap 4, but then he fell at the bottom of the tabletop, where the riders come back from the other side of the circuit and back into the main arena, just to the left of our shot now. He went down at the bottom of the hill and did not rejoin the race. So from his side, he is a little bit second-hand maybe. There's Matt Moffat, came home in second yesterday, having to fend off a hard challenge from Marco Maddi in the closing stages of the race. Dieter Damiens was 4th, Damon Stridham 5th, Nick Bender was 6th, Manuel Becconcini was 7th, Dusan Derdai of Czech Republic was 8th, Portuguese rider Miguel Gabaliero was 9, and Ramon Brucar Sanchez of Spain was 10. And in terms of the championship, well, it was Jentel Martins who was leading before we arrived at this 5th round. He had a 5-point advantage, but Jentel Martins, picking up a scaphoid injury at the last round in Sweden in the first race, finished second in that race, but despite that couldn't go out in the second race. So Marco Maddi is the new championship leader. He's on 179. Jentel Martins out of it on 164. So Matt Moffat is now second in the championship as a matter of speaking, but he's still 3rd in the official standings. But the 15-second board has gone up here. That turns to 5. We're getting ready to go racing here. The EMX300, first race today, race 2 of the weekend for him, and not a great start for Matt Moffat, getting a little bit squirrely as he headed down the inside, but instead, we've got riders queuing up the inside there, but Brad Anderson coming out nice and neatly on the 160 right on the left-hand side. But it is Maddi, once again, just like it was yesterday, who leads the way as they head up towards turn 3, the corner tabletop here, and then through the long sweeping left-hander that is turn 4. But it's Maddi over the line first. Becconcini is there in second place. Derdach is 3rd, Anderson 4th, Bender is 5th, Stridham is 6th, Bartos 7th, Van Nu 8th, Centioni is 9th, and Patrick Voss 10. Matt Moffat in 11th place, Davy Janssen 12th, Joey Smet 13th, Brucar Sanchez, then Gabaliero, Dieter Damiens, Mikael Kaipanen, Showman Arana, Riccardo Sancioni, and Kevin Standard. This is where the start straight was last year. Heading down into this bottom corner where they are now. So obviously reverting, like I said a moment ago, back to its original position, the start straight, but the circuit very fast. Not a lot of work gone on overnight in terms of trying to get rid of a lot of the bumps, so you can already see it's pretty gnarly out there. But Anderson already making a move on the number 88 of Derdach, who might cut to the inside here at the bottom of the hill. Nicely done from Ando. So Ando now up into third place. Making a charge a little bit earlier on this time around. Working their way back towards the start line area then. And 110 there of Nick Bender, trying to find his way past Derdach. Jumping up onto the start straight. There's Ando, just rounding out the turn, hitting the first wave now, the 160. Ah, nicely done there. Petr Bartos, hard down the inside. 116, possibly could have won the race yesterday. I say possibly, because he was a hard charger yesterday. But obviously took that crash, did not score any points, but he was definitely being urged on by the home fans here. End of the first lap then. Marco Madi has a 1.6 second advantage over the number 82, Manuel Becconcini. Third is the 160 of Anderson. Fourth is this battle here, the rider on the right, number 88, Dusan Derdach and Petr Bartos. So the number 88, the two Czech riders. Ah, look at Bartos round the outside, just using that momentum. Derdach thought he was going to hold the inside line there, but Bartos taking no prisoners. Damon Stridham, just... Not Damon Stridham, actually. 27. So Martin Van Loo on the Yamaha, just getting it wrong as he came over the line. So Van Loo was 14th, but now 23rd. Derdach now coming under pressure from the 110 of Nick Bender in the yellow top there. Then just behind them is the number 21 of Damon Stridham there in the background on the KTM. Madi goes through. Becconcini there in blue in second. Anderson now all over the back row in third. Goes to the left-hand side, down through the wave section. Mike trying to get out the turn early and run it up the... is he going to go around the outside? Well, he thought about it, but Becconcini was right there, knew exactly what he was doing and putting a squeeze on Anderson. Anderson's not going to take that too easily. One of the hardest chargers in the British Motocross Championship, Brad Anderson, over the years. And still is if you give him an opportunity. So Anderson now just having to be creative with his lines. This is a battle for second position. So the GL12 Yamaha rider now up the inside of Becconcini, running alongside him along the pit straight area. He will definitely put the squeeze on him. There's no point in getting raggy, Ando. Got to find your way past him, boy. Now he'll square him off. No. Anderson's clearly getting frustrated underneath that helmet of his. Where's Matt Moffat? Down in 16th. Moffat, who was second in the race yesterday. Way down the order. So Anderson. Here's your top three here. Madi, Becconcini, and Anderson. Becconcini actually third overall in Italy, in Maggiora. Doing a great job here of holding off Brad Anderson. Using up a lot of energy, going from one side of the track to the other, trying to find his way past. Well, he's been in this situation now. A lap ago, gets the power down. Last lap, he was all the way over to the left. He tried to go around the outside. Becconcini was right there, knew what he was about to do. Will he square him off this time and take him wide? Yes, he does. Gets good drive this time. Anderson charges up into second position. So Anderson now going after Marco Maddi, looking at picking up a double moto victory here. Fastest lap of the race as well, a 53.3 for Anderson, a 54.1 for Marco Maddi, 54.156, so about 200s in it between Becconcini and Maddi. Make the mistake there from Maddi at the bottom of the hill. But Maddi, the new championship leader, of course. And as it stands at the moment, with Anderson now a win and a potential second, he would take the overall. Maddi on 45 with a third and a potential win, but Anderson closing in on the Italian on that 153. Oh, Ando just getting a bit of a kick there as he came out of that left-hander. Some horrible little knuckles. Anderson a little bit cleaner over the little step down. Bottom end of the circuit here at Lockett. You see how much is closed in. Looking to run it down the inside, but he won't go through here this time around, though. Ando would normally run the MBO Power Acer Scaffolding Yamaha back home in the British Championship, but doing a deal with GL12 Yamaha Racing this weekend. And so far, rewarding them handsomely. Second in time training, a win yesterday, and going after a second win here, but Marco Maddi just ahead of him at the moment. Oh, nicely done. Anderson will charge up the inside here, or this time he might make it work around the outside of Maddi, yeah, who lets him have it way too easily. So Maddi pushed back to second, and Becconcini still there in third, number 82 in blue. Fourth is Bartos. He's about 4 seconds behind these guys. Bender is now down to fifth. Deerdatch is sixth. Strider up to seventh. Patrick Voss down to eighth. Miguel Gaballero now ninth. And Dieter Damons is 10th. In fact, it's all changed because it's now Anderson, Maddi, Becconcini, Bartos 4, Deerdatch 5, Stridham 6, Gaballero 7, Voss 8, Bender 9, and Damien's 10. Joey Smet is 11. Michele Sensioni is 12. Matt Moffat now up to 13th place. The number 84, Ramon Brucar Sanchez, down in 14th. Shoman Arana is 15. Kaipanen 16. Janssen 17. Riccardo Sensioni is 18. Kevin Standard, Alessio Gasparini, they are your top 20. But Anderson, his first visit here in the EMX300 Championship, will place 17th overall in the standings after what would be potentially a double moto victory, and again setting the fastest lap of the race last time around, a 1:52.1. Here's Nick Bender, 1:10, just behind Patrick Voss. Stridham has been overtaken, so the number 21 Stridham being caught and passed by the 72 Miguel Gaballero. And there he is, 72, going after the 88 of Dusan Deerdatch. There's Bartos, urged on yesterday by the partisan crowd here. Hear the cheers, not just for him, but also for the 88 of Deerdatch. But Deerdatch being pushed back, but here's the battle for second position. Maddi, 153, under attack from Sensioni. Sensioni 7th in race 1 yesterday, going after second here. So Becconcini going after Maddi, sorry. Going down the inside. Oh, he almost lost the front end there. Through the little off-cambered right-hander. Will he find his way? Oh, he jumped short, way too short there. Becconcini. Anderson not getting too far away, though. the race leader. Oh, forcing the issue. These two would obviously know each other quite well, you would assume. Maddie 153 and Becconcini.
Podíváme se, na trojce Petr Bartoš, ano, určitě, rozhodně stáhl. Petr Bartoš jde dopředu. A zdá se mi, že první závodník, kde tam je MX.
Maddie putting a little bit of distance between himself and Becconcini now then. 13.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go in the second EMX race. There's Brad Anderson starting to streak away now in the distance. A little bit further back. The 88 of Derdach and Stridham. So Stridham looking to gain another position back after being pushed out of the way by Gabaliero a lap ago. So Stridham on the left, on the orange KTM, tries to run it up the inside. Back end gets a little bit loose on him as well. Will he lose ground to Nick Bender? No. So the 110 just having to bide his time just a little bit. Over the line, 6 laps complete. Brad Anderson continues to lead, still the fastest rider on track on that particular lap. Marco Maddi second. And we've got a rider down at the bottom of the hill. Is it just in the left-hand simple fall, or has somebody gone over the barrier? Ah, somebody's hit. 82. So Becconcini goes out of second position. So Maddi then will have a nice little advantage there in that second place. Of course, this is the corner where Josh Coppins fell out of his world title fight in 2007. So we're all going to be changing then this time around, but Stridham has found his way past Derdach, who is now coming under attack from the 110. Nick Bender, and then Dieter Damien's just off the back there, number 64. So Damien's suddenly closing in. So we've got a 4-way battle here, but Stridham, who finds himself now up into 5th place. Well, actually, that'll be 4th because of the demise of Manuel Becconcini. Just make sure that Anderson leads. Maddi second. It'll be Bartos Caballero before. Yeah, Stridham will be 5th. That's him disappearing around the turn. Then the 88 of Derdach in 6th in the left-hander now. The 110 of Bender in 7th. Dieter Damien's in orange at the back of this shot on the KTM. Will be in 8th place this time around. Damien's looking to go after the Swiss rider Bender. Stridham just starting to pull clear of these guys as well, just giving himself a little bit of breathing space as they pop up over the line again. Lap 7 complete. Who's fastest out of this little quartet of riders? Well, Stridham on a 1:57.4, Derdach a 59.4, Bender 58.6, and Damien's a 58.4. Joey Smet is in 9th. Matt Moffat now up in a 10th place, and Moffat is who's about 10 seconds behind Stridham, who's at the bottom end of the corner now in that right-hander. Damien's looking for a way through. Trying to go around the outside, but he'll just tighten up as he gets into that right-hander. They're doing a great job of holding these guys off, actually. Man down up in the top right isn't any of our leading contenders, so so 52, Davy Janssen then. He was in 19th. Back with this battle here, though. Derdach, 88. He's in 6th. This is 6th, 7th, and 8th still, as it was a lap or so ago. Stridham getting the right idea. finding his way through and disappearing into the distance. Stridham in 5th place. Just like he finished yesterday in race 1. Give him 4th overall. 4th in the championship, 5th in the championship before we came here, Stridham. And Damien's through on Nick Bender. So 8 laps complete. Pete Damien's in orange. Number 64 on the GPR Pro MX Team KTM. Going after the 88. The Yamaha, the blue machine there of Derdach. Looking to switch it up this time. Good drive down the outside. Will he be able to square him off at the bottom of the hill here? Gets on the power nice and early, but Derdach just doing enough to keep that machine ahead of the KTM just for a little bit longer. Nick Bender just being pushed out the back door there. A slight mistake from Derdach, who's still being urged on by the fans here. That's where Bartos crashed yesterday, ended upside down in this bottom corner, and a mistake there from Damien. Anderson, 3 seconds clear, already over the line now. Has he extended his lead over Marco Maddi? Yes, he has, down to, out to 4.3 now. Bartos is 3rd, but he will not be on the podium. Didn't finish the first race yesterday. Peter Bartos will only be good enough for 10th overall, unfortunately for him. The overall will be Anderson with 2 wins. He'll be on 50 points. Marco Maddi will be 2nd with 42, with a 3rd and a 2nd, and then Matt Moffat will be 3rd at the moment on 34 with a 2nd and a 9th, which he currently resides in. Wait for him to come over the line. Goes through now, 6 seconds behind Nicholas Bender. Still got 6.5 minutes though. There's Bender in the background there. Bender from one side of the track to the other. So Anderson leads, Maddi 2nd, Bartos 3rd. Miguel Caballero is 4th, Stridham is 5th, Derdach 6th, heading up this group here. Damien's there, number 64 is 7th. The guy behind him in blue and yellow, Bender is 8th. Matt Moffat, we say 5 or 6 seconds behind in 9th, and then Joey Smet, 211 on the KTM from Belgium. Is in 10th as we pick up our race leader, 160, Brad Anderson on the GL12 Racing Yamaha. So 10 laps complete. Brad Anderson at 53.3, Maddi now 5.3 seconds behind. More than a second down that time around, a 53.35 and a 53.38 for our 2 leaders respectively, Anderson and Maddi. 13 seconds adrift, Bartos in 3rd. We'll be disappointed because in race 1 yesterday, the Czech rider got himself into 2nd by lap 4, and that's when he went missing, so could have been finishing on the podium here. Maybe it's giving him a taste. Maybe we'll see him in Belgium, in Lommel, in a week's time, which is the next round, the final round, round 6 of the EMX300s. Maybe we'll see Anderson there as well. And who knows, maybe Anderson may even ink himself a deal to ride this championship next year. So bottom of the hill then, Damon Stridham at the bottom of the hill, finding his way past Caballero. Yes. So that's Stridham now up into 4th place. So 4 minutes to go. +2. Brad Anderson working his way back around.
Máš pravdu, pochopitelně a poslední minulosti zažili, jak třeba u Bartoše, u Zaremby.
This race 25 minutes +2 laps, so we're working our way down to that, to the end of this race, race 2. There is Stridham, gapping Caballero. Will this give Stridham an extra couple of points? I think it might. That might stick Matt Moffat off the podium and Stridham on the podium. Stridham hasn't finished on the podium just yet. Well, let's see what that does as he comes over the line now. So Stridham over the line. That'll be a 16 and an 18 for him, and that will push him up onto the podium. Same points as Matt Moffat. So Matt Moffat then needs to find his way onto the rear wheel of Nick Bender. He's 6 seconds adrift though, number 110, the Swiss rider. And he is running out of time. Just over 2.5 minutes +2 laps to go. But this kid here, Damon Stridham, looking at his first podium in EMX300. So the South African riding and living in the UK. Caballero trying to go after him, but Dika Damien's there, 64 in orange and yellow, all over the back of Caballero. So Damien's then of Belgium looking to get himself up into 5th place. What was Matt Moffat's time? A 1:55.2, setting his personal best lap of the race last time around. That was a second quicker than Nick Bender. And there is Bender there, just behind the 88 of Derdach, so the middle rider in shot there. But it's still going to be a big ask for Matt Moffat to claw back that kind of gap. Matt Moffat as well, not being on the podium. He's been consistent though. 4th overall in Europe at Valkenswaard, 4th in Talavera in Spain, 8th in the mud at Majora, 4th overall again in Sweden. And in terms of race finishes, Matt Moffat back-to-back seconds, so second in the second race in Sweden, second in the first race yesterday. Here is Matt Moffat, number 36. Has he clawed that? Was that Nick Bender just ahead of him at the bottom of the hill? Because he's going to have 3 laps to go. There is Bender just at the top of the hill, so he might still be able to do it. Matt Moffat can't do any more than he's doing, but I'm sure his crew down there will be telling him must pass for the podium. But Matt Moffat on 12 points at the moment. He will move to 13 if he gets himself into 8th place ahead of Nick Bender. And that'll give him 1 vital point, because Damon Stridham on 34, Matt Moffat on 34. So 2 riders fighting for their first podium in EMX300. Will just come down to 1 point. And Brad Anderson is getting ready to take the 2-lap board any moment now, because time is up here. But Caballero running wide, and Damien's charging down the inside. Oh, and this is going to play into the hands of Derdach and Bender. Bender goes through on Derdach, and there's Moffat going through as well. So these 2 guys, it may only be a European 300 race, but sorry, telling those, why not just try and get your handlebars out of the rear wheel, dude? So Caballero just getting a little bit hot-headed down there.
Tohle byl předjížděcí manévr v zatáčce. Ano, takže klasický souboj.
Oh, handbags.
Abych to dopověděl, takže Petr Bartoš v podstatě po jině si nechal
Damien's not wanting a mess with Caballero. Might find himself a few spokes missing there and a slightly buckled wheel, maybe a wrecked rear disc as well. Damien's can't do any more than he's doing, but Damien's came down the inside, didn't he? And hooked him up. There we go. Let's try a different way.
Máme tady Petra Bartoše, protože ty jiné slavné jména, které by tady mohly být, ať je to Filip Neubauer, který teda bohužel startuje na vnitřním
already
šampionátu.
Coming round to see the carnage ahead of him will be Damien's and Caballero. But Damien's up and running. There he is, Damien's just going around, so almost a lap down, but he will still feature quite highly because of the pace that he was pushing. So, Ando, just over a lap to go then. Maddie second, Bartos third, Stridham fourth, Bender fifth, Durdage sixth, Moffat seventh, and that does give him those points. Will get him on the podium for the first time then, Matt Moffat. He just needs to keep it up right now. Joey Smet is eighth, Brucar Sanchez 9, and Michele Sensioni is 10. Mikael Kuipeinen 11. Caballero being pushed back down the order, of course. Patrick Voss now up to 12. Right, Anderson. One lap board goes out. Taking a look over his shoulder just to see exactly what's going on. Maddie only 4.5 seconds behind, but Brad Anderson definitely having this under control. Too early to be celebrating with the team past pit lane, just a full lap there. There's Maddie, 1:53 second. He will be picking up the championship leader's red plate today. For the first time he's led the championship. Because Jentel Martins was the leader up until the first race yesterday. So Jentel Martins with a scaphoid injury, going to be out for another 8 weeks with that, so will not make the final round at Belgium and Lommel in a week's time, a surface and a circuit that he knows very, very well. But Marco Maddi won't care too much about that, I'm sure. But here is Brad Anderson. About a third of a lap to go. The GL12 Racing Yamaha going to be taking its first victory of the season in the hands of Brad Anderson. The winner yesterday, and he was slightly more on it today, a little earlier on in the race. Didn't make the best start yesterday, but responding well in the early stages of race 2. But here he is making his way towards the finish line then. Through the penultimate corner here, the right-hander dropping down over the tabletop, and Brad Anderson is going to get ready to take the checkered flag, and it's going to be a win for the first time for the GL12 Yamaha of Brad Anderson. And Anderson, an overall winner in 300s at his first attempt. Marco Maddi crosses the line in second. That'll be good enough for second overall, but more importantly for him, he will take over the lead in the championship in the EMX300 category. We're waiting for Peter Bartos to come through. Bartos, any moment now, we should see him launching up over the hill. Well, there's Stridham. Here's Bartos. Here, in yellow. So that's Bartos. He's third, but we're waiting for Matt Moffat, number 36, will be the guy that our man on the ground there, Foxy, is waiting for. There he is. That's third overall for him. Just wonder if he's been down. Oh, yeah, he's been down. Look at that. He's chewed his arm right up, has Matt Moffat. Definitely got a wall wound going on there, so riding through the pain barrier. Looks more like a tyre burn. Looks like he may have gone down on the first turn or somewhere else and had a rear wheel possibly spinning up on his forearm there. No wonder he took the left hand off the handlebar as he crossed the line, Matt Moffat. So a good hard charge through then for the tough northeasterner. And it's actually two riders from the northeast of England, Brad Anderson and Matt Moffat, that will be first and third. Two Brits sandwiching the Italian Marco Maddi.
EMX300.
So EMX300 race 2. Unofficial confirmation, of course, of the result here. Anderson wins it, Marco Maddi second, Peter Bartos third, Damon Stridham fourth, Nick Bender fifth, Duizan Doidaj sixth, Matt Moffat seventh, Joey Smet eighth, Ramon Brucar Sanchez 9 and Mikael Kaipanen 10, Michele Sensioni 11, Patrick Voss 12, Dika Damians 13th in the end, Ricardo Sensioni 14, Miguel Gabrieliero 15, Martin Van Leeuw 16, Kevin Standard 17, Alex Diaz, Francesco Galligari and Alessio Gasparini. But Brad Anderson, our overall winner, is getting ready to speak to Lisa Lehnen. Here he is.
First attempts at EMX300s for this championship and a double win as well. Great weekend for you.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I like to thank Bob for helping us out. Great deal for getting us here and just having a one-off ride for the 300, and I really enjoyed it. The track was pretty good, technical. I got a pretty bad start, but I came through, and I'm just glad to come away with 2 wins and get that England flag on top.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Brad Anderson then victorious here. Race 1 winner yesterday, a race 2 winner today will give him the overall round win. And his first attempt in the EMX300 for GL12 Yamaha Racing.
Její nejlepší umístění bylo v té elitní 20, byla 18.
Official confirmation then of the overall round today. Brad Anderson, a winner, 2 wins out of 2. Maddi was second, a third and a second. Matt Moffat on the podium for the first time ahead of Damon Stridham. Those two duking it out for their first podium, but it was Moffat who held on in the end. And Nick Bender, 5th overall. And that was his best result of the season as well. 11th at round 1, didn't go to round 2, was 6th in Italy round 3, didn't go to Sweden. Temperatures significantly cooler, but we do have a new championship leader. Marco Maddi now 37 clear of Martins, but Matt Moffat at the final round in Belgium in a week's time could have the opportunity to go second. What about Damon Stridham? Could also get himself up to third at the final round. But Brad Anderson featuring well this weekend, obviously picking up 50 points, so inside the top 20. Podium time then, and third overall this weekend, riding the Husqvarna, Matt Moffat. We saw the state of his arm as he came over the line, so obviously nursing an arm injury there. But Marco Maddi, 2nd overall and the new championship leader, so he'll be picking up a red plate. But Brad Anderson, a winner at his first attempt at EMX300 on the GL12 Yamaha. And Bob Buchanan, team manager, congratulating all the riders there. But Matt Moffat, his first podium of the year in third. Maddie second. And Ando, Brad Anderson, taking his first overall win. And lovely little bit of Czech crystal there as well. So there's your top three: Anderson, Maddie and Moffat. Bob Buchanan will pick up his winner's trophy for his team winning here this weekend, but Marco Maddy, more importantly, will take over the championship leaders red plate. Eddie Hurd, the FIM Europe Motocross Commission president, delivering the red plate to the Italian. National anthem time, though, for Brad Anderson and Great Britain. Then victorious here this weekend. Lockett in the Czech Republic, round 5 of the EMX300 Championship. Marco Maddy second overall and is the new leader in the EMX300s. And Matt Moffat on the podium for the first time with a hard-fought effort through the field with what looks like quite a significant left arm injury, having got tangled up somewhere on the first lap, hence the hard charge through the field. But let's take a look. Here's what happened in EMX300 race 2. It was a charge down the line. Matt Moffat was up the inside there. Did he go down? Definitely no, he was all right there on the first lap, Matt Moffat, but just didn't make a tidy getaway. So somewhere on the first lap, Moffat going down. That was Van Loo just getting a little bit over-enthusiastic going into that right turn at the end of the first lap. Van Loo picking himself up eventually to finish in 16th position, but Brad Anderson eventually found his way past Beccancini, the number 82, to get himself in a second. And then when he got himself onto the rear wheel of Marco Maddy, it was an easy pass around the outside of the Italian. Beccancini eventually drops down the order because he fell at the bottom of the hill, out of second position, having found his way past Maddy and was just holding his left shoulder. Dietke Damians was on the charge. He was in a mix with Damon Strydom and Nick Bender. Dietke Damians. And Strydom made this move to go into 5th, finding his way past Gabaliero. Gabaliero then came under attack from Dietke Damians as Matt Moffat continued his charge through the field. Got himself just outside the top 10, but then Dietke Damians saw red and a whole load of the blue Yamaha of Gabaliero, and the two had a bit of a comedy moment then as they tried to wrestle their bikes out of the berm. Gabaliero was obviously a little bit more urgent to, or more keen to get himself back into the race, but it was a win for Anderson. Marco Maddy was second. Peter Bartos, the Czech rider, was third.
Second place for Marco Maria from Italy with KTM, start number 153. And Marco Maria had as red plate because he has now first place.
So the 150 riders, you can see, making their way from their sighting lap. We've already spoke to our 300 winners.
A jestli přijde MX se nám teď vrací do toho skyboxu, kde se seřadí a podle výsledků kvalifikace, která probíhala včera, si najedou.
So the 150s then making their way back from their cycling lap, and we'll be bringing you EMX 150 race 2 in just a moment.
15 let a jsou vybavení všichni stejnými motocykly, konkrétně stroji Honda s čtyřtaktním motorem o obsahu 150 kubických centimetrů. A jak jsme tady i říkali s Petrem Kovářem při tom warm-upu,